I'm here with Tāwhana Chadwick, who is a candidate in the Hastings District Council Heretaunga by-election. Kia ora, Tāwhana, and thanks for joining me.
Kia ora, Andrew. Great to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. Now, Tāwhana, tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from, and why have you decided to stand?
Cool. So I'm from here. I'm from Heretaunga. I was born and raised here. My father's Māori, and we're from Kohupātiki and Waimarama, and also elsewhere. And my mum, she's Pākehā, and so I grew up in this community, especially around Kohupātiki, which is just out of Whakatū, and Clive. And also went to school in Omahu, at Omahu School, and Kura Kaupapa also in Napier as well. I went to university, and then after completing my degrees there, I jumped on the waka haurua, Te Mātua Māui, the waka out in the Napier Marina, and started crewing, and then started captaining there, where we ran lots of programs for especially youth, but also just people of Hawke's Bay, of Heretaunga, and supporting people to, empower themselves and learn lots of new skills. I'm also a Te Tiriti o Waitangi educator, so my mum raised us in Play Centre here in Hawke's Bay, and facilitated, or still facilitates, treaty workshops to this day. And that's something that I carry on today as well. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. Now, why have you decided to stand for the district council?
There's several reasons, but one of the reasons that what I want to do is I want to bring the people's voice, our community's voice, to the table at council. I think there's a lot. I just went to the Pilot City Trust awards today, and one of the things that was talked about was a lack of social cohesion and a lot of distrust in our council and our institutions. So I'm wanting to bring people to the table so that they understand what council is, what it's actually responsible for, and all those sorts of things. And so that we have a bit more social cohesion here in Heretaunga. Yeah.
And what are some of the issues that you stand in on? Apart from that, what are some of the pressing issues that you feel are facing your community and Hastings District Council, Hastings District as a region?
Yeah, well, we all know what happened last year with Cyclone Gabriel and the flooding and all the destruction that happened. And so my platform is going to be focused a lot on our environment and how we can create a thriving environment that can support our thriving communities, diverse communities as well. I believe the more diverse our communities are and our environment are, that will make us more resilient, and it'll help us achieve our goals, especially around mitigating, like reducing the impacts of those climate events that are most likely to happen and not too far away from now, even though I hate to say it, but it looks like we're going to see more and more of these events happening more regularly. And if our communities aren't ready for that, then we're going to be, debt is going to be the least of our problems.
Yeah. And were you or your community affected personally by the tragedy, by the disaster?
Well, yeah, definitely. Since Heretaunga is my community, and we were very much affected. My mum's house was, luckily she lives in Akina, so she was very safe, and so she went out and supported a lot of our whānau, especially out at Omahu. We saw, that's where the stock bank broke, and so that community, our community out there, was severely affected by that. And to this day, I have cousins and a lot of relations who have had to leave their homes and live with other whānau, and to this day impacted around their housing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel the council and central government, how do you think they've done in the cyclone recovery?
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say it because they just released the national report on this that our former Governor General
Yes, Jerry
chair.
Pumatara, yeah.
Yes. And as you know, the other one was the local one was released last month or
Mm,
earlier. So, um, and so I think I agree with the reports that a lot of the coordination stuff was an issue and still could be ironed out. Um, we know that a lot of the communities really came together and supported, especially our Māori community.
mm.
And by Māori communities, I mean marae specifically, really were such an important part of that. And so I think there's some things that they did really well and some things that we weren't ready for. And I think that was the big message, is that we weren't ready for this, and that things that were in place hadn't had the rigor to stand the test of that devastating event. And so those are some of the things also that I'll be looking at supporting to now that we have a report that gives us, I think it's 5 main recommendations and 66 second tier recommendations, which I think all the councils have been are saying that they will fully support and endorse and those recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if have you ever attended a council meeting? They're very bureaucratic in that. How will you cut through that to get to the sort of get to the issues and get through that?
Yeah, I know council meetings themselves are very bureaucratic and cumbersome, and they speak another language almost.
Mm,
I'm used to that languaging. I've been on a few boards. I've helped set up a couple of minor trusts and that. But I know how important the outside of the meeting conversations are to get the things into the meeting are just as important, if not more important, working with other councillors to make sure that, say, if we have a recommendation that we want to pass through council or whatever that we want passed through council, to get that past the line, we have to do all our relationship stuff before the actual meeting. So that's some of the stuff that I want to focus on, is how we work as a unit, as a council. Yeah.
On that issue, what skills will you be bringing to council if you get elected?
I think I bring quite a different look at things. Am informed by a lot of communities, sorry, whether that's the rainbow community, marae communities, other social groups that I'm involved with, and ethnic communities that have started to talk to me about different issues that impact them. So I think I bring a lot of voices into the room. I'm also approachable. I'm a very friendly person. Hopefully, people agree with that. And that I can listen. I'm happy to listen to people and their issues and really see what people want and what they value and what they are really hoping to have in Heretaunga for them to thrive, for them to feel safe, for them to feel like they're being listened to.
One of the big issues facing councils at the moment, all councils and in particular Hastings District Council, is mounting debt. And Hastings is now proposing a 25% rates increase. How will you try and reduce debt and also keep those rates increases down?
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the flood and all that stuff, debt is going to incur is going to occur because of that. And so we do, rate rises are unfortunately going to happen. However, I think we need new strategies around how to save money, not spend money in places where we're wasting it, figure out how to work with communities around some of this, create new ideas that the wider community can bring in terms of that. I'm really worried that when we talk about debt, we get stuck in this thing that money is the only issue. And so uh, although it is an issue and we can't do a lot of stuff when we don't have it, but I also want to make sure that this stuff, our cultural stuff is still happening without, being extravagant and being overspending for things like that. But still that people still feel like Hastings is a fun place to be, that they feel safe and that there's still stuff to do. And yeah, how do we support it? Support those initiatives without spending lots of money on that. So, yeah, it is going to be lots of tough conversations, and I think I obviously need to be in front of all those money, all those things to make decisions on that. But I'm really interested in the different ways that communities and people around in Heretaunga that will come up with solutions.
Yeah. Now you're not standing for a by-election in a Māori ward, but Hastings does have a Māori ward, and the government has indicated that they're not too keen on Māori wards. What do you think of the sort of latest move by the government to try and get referendums on that held to see whether Māori wards are needed?
I mean, I think it's ridiculous that they're going through this process and that we are happy here in Heretaunga with Māori wards. So I think that Heretaunga will rise up against the rhetoric and that will stay as a cohesive Heretaunga, and that we'll keep them. And I think they don't go far enough, to be honest. I think that they should be mana whenua wards, because local Māori actually bring a specific understanding of the local environment, the local communities that Māori from outside of our region don't bring. So I think that they should be mana whenua wards, to be honest. Yeah.
So you think it should be limited to people who actually live in that area and and should have that voice, yeah.
Or mana whenua, which are people of those iwi and
yeah. Okay. Now, Tāwhana, why should people vote for you? Why should the ratepayers of the Heretaunga ward of Hastings District Council vote for you?
I bring in new ideas. I bring in people. I have lots of supporters around me that tell me better ideas than my own ideas, or that look at my ideas and scrutinize and make them better. I'm sincere about change and moving away from some of the old ways of doing things and looking at new ways that we can come together and put our diverse opinions together to create create solutions that are relevant for us today and for the future generations as well.
Now you're up against quite a large field. There's 7 people that are standing. By-elections are notoriously for being low turnouts. What are you doing to try to get people to vote for you?
Yes, so we're going to go out onto the street and we're going to knock on houses and meet face to face with people, individuals, communities. We've been invited to several events, and so we've been very keen to go there, and hopefully people will see that we're sincere, that we really want to listen to what their issues are. And what they value and what they value about this community, and what they want to see getting pushed to the table of council. Yeah.
Tāwhana Chadwick, thank you so much for your time and all the best in your election.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.